So just as a way of introduction, my name is Daniel Senyard. I am the CEO and co-founder of Shep. We're sort of a communication platform that allows you to notify and communicate with your travelers or employees as they're engaging with the travel site. So as they do a search, we can kind of bring in relevant information and guidance to them. So this week we are talking about engaging travelers with video. Every week between 11 and 11:15 Central, we do a weekly webinar that includes demos, previews of new features we're working on. Sometimes it's just general topics, educational things, and so on. And so the idea here is that you can sort of dip your toe in, have a look at what we're doing. If it's interesting, you can invite, coworkers, peers from other companies, whatever the case is, as a way to sort of just have a quick peek in to see what Shep is all about. So yeah, we're just going to jump into the topic. We've got someone else joining. But the topic today is around using video to engage your employees. And so by nature, policies, whether it's travel policies, IT policies, whatever it is, are essentially pretty unengaging and forgettable. And a lot of that is because they literally have to be. There's so much information and legalese that has to be in there that ends up being long and unengaging. The problem is that, there's some really important stuff in there that is mixed in with the legal CYA type content that has to be in there as well. And so these long written policies are unengaging because text has very low retention rate. So, recent studies have shown that viewers of videos remember 95% of a video message, whereas only 10% of what they read, which is a pretty huge difference there. You get pretty shallow engagement. So if someone goes to your intranet site because you've told them there's a return to travel policy, they need to read it. People spend 82% more time on a website that has a video on that they can click and watch instead of making them do all the work to read. So you get a lot more time spent. So the engagement is much deeper. And often you miss the point. And the point often is just getting it, so very low open rates on emails, people not remembering where things are in the intranet, and maybe just not even bothering to read through your big, heavy policy. And so, people are 4 times more likely to watch a video than to read about it. We've got a client that, they see about a 20 to 30% open rate on email sent around policy. And so that's not great. So you really need to find ways to get it in front of the employees and make sure that when you do, it's consumable and easy to engage with. Fuzzy graphic, but basically video is the most engaging of all media types. If you look at the sort of average time spent on a page with text only, images or text or video, there's a pretty dramatic increase in time spent on video. One of the things to remember is to show, don't tell. I'm sure you guys have heard this sort of, I guess it's a parable, fable, something, but basically getting a bunch of people in the dark to describe what they're looking at by letting them feel an elephant, where one person feels the trunk, they think it's a snake, the tail feels like a rope. So all these people together are only getting a tiny piece of the picture and are not able to see the entirety and understand what they're meant to be looking at, essentially. And so video naturally is very good at being able to really demonstrate what's going on instead of having to put it in long, endless words. Another good practice for video is really to be authentic. So people, trust increases dramatically when you are yourself, when you're authentic, when any sort of rules, policies are coming to them, when this is a real person they know and trust and can engage with, as opposed to a 30-page legal document that they have to go through. So the trust goes so much higher, which increases engagement, which increases, adoption and all that stuff. So being authentic and actually putting yourself on video is a great way to do this. Not to hide behind everything, but to put yourself out there, make mistakes. As you see, I do this weekly, and you sort of get used to the fact that it's not perfect and you're going to make mistakes. You're going to mumble, lose your words, whatever the case is. but people start to trust you more because they know it's a real person behind what's being told to them. So I'm going to show you what we are doing, which just sort of an overview of how to create video content. And this is going to be trickier than any of my prior webinars because I'm going to introduce a new tool that's got nothing to do with us, but it's one we use when we create video content. So let me quickly share, just going to switch to a different screen. So what I'm going to show you is the sort of sketch framework, and it's just a kind of little mnemonic to remember how to think about this. So step one would be step one. So we've got the present framework. So we've got present. Sorry, I'm not great at drawing with my mouse. The present framework. So number one is to prepare. So really think about what you are trying to communicate, what part of your policy or what tool you're trying to educate people on the usage of. So first step is to prepare. The second step then is to rehearse and record. So there's several ways you can record things. Obviously, you can just use your iPhone if it's just you talking. I'm going to show you a screen recording tool we use that allows you to actually have your face in it as well. So it's not just, you can use QuickTime to record, and there's lots of tutorials online for some of those tools. I'm going to show you one that we use called Loom. That's great. So I'll show you how that works. So you record your content, you then have to edit it. Some of the things like Loom has editing tools in it that makes it really quick and easy to do it. I sometimes use what's free on my MacBook, which is iMovie. You then need to share that. So once it's edited, you need to share it, whether it's posting it to YouTube, embedding it somewhere, whatever the case is. You then need to embed that. So you've got this piece of your policy you really need people to understand. And even if you're just putting it in a Word document, putting it where it needs to be seen is obviously key. You then need to notify people that that's around. Hey, we've got this new content. We really need you to understand it. Please make sure to go and watch my video. And then you want to track. Most of these tools have analytics where you can see how many views you have and that sort of thing. So you can see, is this working? Are people watching it all the way through, etc. So that's the basic framework. And so I'm going to show you an example. So we're going to do this in real time. So as I said, I use this tool called Loom, which is right here. It's another extension. So for those who don't know, Shep is a browser extension. Extensions add functionality to your browser. So I'm going to use the Loom app. So what I want to do is I want people who are shopping for travel not to book directly with the suppliers. I want them to understand that they can get their loyalty points if they use Concur. And that's a big reason. There's a lot of leakage from some programs. Employees just don't really understand necessarily that they can get their loyalty points. So I'm going to, so for example, someone would go to American Airlines, and this is Shep. So we're able to pop up forms. You can embed forms and education points. But you've got this message saying, are you an AA loyalty member? Did you know you can still get your points if you book through Concur? So the portion in Concur that I want to show them is right here. So here is your loyalty section. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to use this tool called Loom, which is another free extension. I'm going to click on that, and you can see I'm going to record my screen and my camera. And you can see in the bottom left corner, you can actually see me. So this allows me to be authentic, to be part of the presentation itself. I can be as big and obnoxious as I like. And I'm going to record this. So I start recording. The free version gives you 5 minutes. See, I've got my countdown going. And I can talk about how, hi, thanks for coming here. I'm going to show you now a quick and easy way to add your loyalty program so you can get these when you book your travel. In your personal profile section of Concur, you can go down to your frequent traveler programs, and you just click on this add a program. And from there, you then have access to multiple suppliers. So I'm going to pick my supplier, which is Delta. I'm going to add in my loyalty number, and I can add up to 5 at a time right here, which makes it quick and easy to make sure that I'm getting my points. And as I add those, I then hit save, and that program is then saved. And so next time I book a business travel, I'll get points in my personal account that allows me to use my points from business travel on personal travel. So now I've educated them. I've finished the recording. And you'll see Loom now has my video right there. I can hit play and I can watch it back. I'm going to share it. And the way I'm going to share it is I'm going to embed it. Now, this is where I'm going to bring Shep into the thing. This obviously could be embedded just on a regular page in your intranet. I'm going to copy the code. And then I'm going to go into Shep. And as you saw, I'd already created some of these modals as placeholders, but I'm going to put this video that I just recorded with you guys right in there. So I'm going to go into notifications. I'm going to look for my loyalty one, which is right here. So I'm going to edit it. These are all different examples of notifications within Shep. So I'm going to edit this one that I created. You can see it says add your loyalty program, has a little bit of a description. It's going to show up on Concur every time. You can see I've got a title that I can add and edit. And right here, I'm going to embed a video. And if it's a YouTube link, you can literally just paste in the YouTube link, but I want to embed this one. So I put that code that I copied in that embed. And there's my video. All right, so I'm going to update that notification. And now the very next time someone goes to AA, you'll see the same flow I showed you earlier. You know, are you an AA loyalty member? You can get your points through Concur. Go to Concur. But here's my training video.
Talk about how, hi, thanks for coming here, which is Delta.
So now I've been able to very quickly create a training and educational touch point that explains how to use a tool to increase your adoption. This is now reinforcing your policy, but making it in a way that someone can just jump in, watch the video, understand it, instead of having to go through to find paragraph 15 in a long document to understand how to do that. And it's so much easier to show how to do that than to try and describe it with bullet points or anything. So I'm going to switch back to my presentation. But basically, yeah, so that's what Shep is. So you've seen how you can add video, you can create it, you can edit it quickly and easily. And then with Shep, you're able to deliver those specific little video snippets at the exact moment it's most relevant to the employees. So yeah, we do have a discount on the Shep platform. At the moment, it's a return to travel discount that if you're able to sign up by the end of the quarter, next quarter, you're getting a 25% discount. And you can just jump onto sheptravel.com to schedule a demo with me, and I'll be able to walk you through the platform at a bit more of a leisurely pace. And we also have 2 ebooks we recently put out. Those are both also available on sheptravel.com. One is, 5 steps to return to travel. So it kind of helps you think about how to put together your return to travel plan, what to prioritize, how to evaluate when and where and how to return to travel. And then the partner one is implementing guided buying, which is then using Shep to pop up the different prompts and reminders and policies at the right time as employees are going through. So yeah, thank you for watching. We'll have a general demo, which is more of a overall Shep capabilities, which will be next week. And there's a bit.ly link right there, or you can just keep going to sheptravel.com, and in the top resources, there's a link to our webinars. We'll also post this one as a recording that you can share with your team if it's of interest, or you want to watch again, try and understand how to create those videos, because I know I did have to go quite quickly. That's about it. I just wanted to see if anyone had any questions. You can unmute yourself. You can type in the chat if needed. I can answer a couple like frequently asked questions are, people want to know how does Shep work as an extension? How do you get it out there? And that's usually we work with your IT team. So it's pushed out as an extension, as they would push out any general software. It can be deployed to employee computers. We integrate into your single sign-on. So for the end employees, they just turn on their computer and all of a sudden it's there. And the next time they go to Concur, it can pop up COVID guidance. It can tell them what the entry requirements are for different places, border status, or you can just pop up these sort of policy prompts telling them you're not allowed to book here, you should book there, make sure it's refundable, whatever the case is. You'll can see some of those next week if you do want to see the more general functionality. Now we are a bit over. So if there's no other questions, I will say thank you very much for joining and have a good week.